Hey everyone, and welcome to LiveChat University. Today we're going to be talking about the Salesforce for LiveChat integration, how to set it up, add objects to Salesforce directly from LiveChat, how to attach the chat transcript directly to a lead and contact, and so much more. Let's do this. By integrating LiveChat with Salesforce, you can gather and store information from all the leads or customers you've been chatting with. You can use the data that is automatically gathered in the integration to build customer profiles, meaning that everything you get through the chat becomes a part of the visitor's Salesforce profile. It can also save your agents so much time, since they won't have to do a lot of the stuff manually or click through tabs. They will have access to creating an object like a lead directly in the chat, or finding a customer's information that is right in front of them. It can also really help with sales, since all of the data is sent directly to Salesforce. LiveChat doesn't store any data, meaning your sales team doesn't have to look for the information they need. Just peek at their CRM and they'll have all their customer info in front of them in one place. Let's move on to setting up the integration. First of all, the owners or admins of the Salesforce integration only need to set it up once, and then all of your agents can use it. They'll have their own account connected under one Salesforce license. There's no need for everyone to do it separately. Let's start by installing Salesforce onto our LiveChat agent app. Log into your LiveChat app, and the first thing you want to do is make sure that your payment details are filled in billing. Then you want to go to the marketplace. You want to find Salesforce for LiveChat, select Add to Cart and View Cart. You'll see the automatic calculation based on the number of agents you have. Now, if you have a coupon code, put it in and go to checkout. Then confirm purchase. Click on Finish Installation. Click on Allow Salesforce to access your account. Close this tab after the message disappears, and then go to Apps and click on Salesforce for LiveChat. Click on Allow Salesforce for LiveChat to access your account again. Choose Add Account, put in your credentials to log in. Now I'm gonna add a sandbox account just for the tutorial. If you don't see your account, just refresh the page. And that's it. Your Salesforce is now integrated with LiveChat, and you can start using it right away. Now, I'd like to mention that we as LiveChat don't save any of the customer data. We actually send the customer data that we've gathered directly to Salesforce. So if you'd like to be fully HIPPA compliant, we'll need to sign a business associate agreement with you. For that, please go to livechat.com and start a chat with us. To start off with the integration and to use it to your advantage, you will need to add objects in your Salesforce integration. Now, these objects act as containers that store data within your Salesforce. It's like a database table where the bits of customer information are stored as field values. So to help you visualize it better, imagine an object as a table. Now, the columns represent the fields and the rows represent records. So Salesforce has two types of objects: standard objects and custom objects. Now, account, contact, lead, opportunity, cases, users, and so on are standard objects. And custom objects are objects that you create to store information that are specific to your company or industry. To add a completely new Salesforce object directly in LiveChat, you want to go to Apps, find Salesforce for LiveChat, and now you want to click on Mapping Object. Click on New Object. And then you want to select an object from Salesforce. So we're actually going to choose lead here. And keep in mind that you can only have one of each object here. So one lead object, one account object, one task object, and so on. Then you want to click on Add Fields. And this will let us add various fields for our object, which can be known as lead visibility. So all of the fields you select will be later visible in the chat view. Now, I recommend adding fields like first name, last name, country, city, email, website, status, rating, and owner ID. Now, since there is no field named chat transcript, you can pick a field that is perhaps closely similar to it. Now, I'm going to choose company description, and then we're going to change up the value in a bit. So I'm going to add my fields and be right back. Right, don't forget to click OK. And all the fields that we've added will be visible under name. Then we have entry type, and if we click on the drop-down menu, we can see that we have 4 options here to choose from. And this affects the latter column value. So we have static, we have dynamic, we have auto match, we have AI extraction. So let me explain how you can use them. Right, let's start with the static entry type. So you can choose it if you want to send a lead from LiveChat to Salesforce and keep the status of the lead always the same when it's created. For example, you have a lead object, and each and every time a lead is created, you'd like the status to appear as new. Then that's the perfect use case for a static entry type. Later on, of course, you can just adjust the value yourself in the chat view. Then we have the dynamic entry type. Basically, it connects the LiveChat data to the Salesforce data, meaning it assigns the value it receives from LiveChat. Then we have the auto-match entry type that not only looks for the value it receives from LiveChat, but additionally looks for the object from Salesforce, meaning Salesforce can automatically match and attach info to that lead or contact. For example, if you have a lead object and let's say the field is owner ID, and the entry type is auto match, and we add email agent as the value. Now for the Salesforce object here, we want to have user, and the Salesforce field is email. Then of course, if you did make any changes, you want to click save. Now each time when you create this object, the system will try to find the same agent email in Salesforce, matching the one in LiveChat. So let's pretend that I am the owner of the lead in LiveChat, and since the owner ID is set up this way, then it will make sure that I am also the owner of the lead in Salesforce through my email. Listen, I know this is quite a lot of info, especially for those who haven't really used Salesforce in the past, so definitely rewatch if you need to. Now, the last entry type, AI extraction. So you can determine the value by your specific use case, meaning you can write any prompt. We're not limiting your options here in any way. You can ask it to extract a phone number, the reason your customer is contacting you, or any info you expect to be in the chat. Let me show you on an example. I'm going to set it up for a lead object. So in apps and Salesforce for LiveChat, I'm going to choose my lead object here, and here I want to add a company description in the fields. Then we want to click on OK, and we want to make sure that company description has the AI extraction entry type, and we want to come up with a prompt. Now, for my prompt, I'm going to write, generate a short chat summary under 50 words. And click save. Right, now let's check it out. So we're gonna find an ongoing chat, and we're gonna click on the Salesforce integration. We're gonna click on new object. And here we can see the company description with the pre-filled short summary of the chat. Right, let's move on to the next field. So we have the field value. Now you want to match it to the field you have chosen. So if you chose like first name, then you want to make sure that you choose name customer, or for example, website, last visited pages customer. Here you want to make sure the entry type is dynamic. Right, earlier I mentioned what to do if there is no chat transcript field. Now there are actually multiple ways around it. The first is choosing a similar field, so something like company description. And here we want to have that as the field. Now for the entry type, we want to have dynamic, and for the value, we want to have chat transcript. So the company description field will now display as an ongoing chat transcript. You'll see all of this in the chat view. Moving on, we have the relevant Salesforce object and field that only works with relevant fields. Then we have searchable. Now, what that means is when the box is checked, it will search for the field throughout Salesforce. Now, this might sound similar to AutoMatch, the entry type that I've mentioned before. However, it's quite different. So AutoMatch lets you find all the objects that you've configured. It looks for the things you've assigned to it. On the other hand, searchable can find data that you don't even know existed. For example, the email field here is dynamic and has the value of email customer. Then if the email of the website visitor exists as a lead or contact in Salesforce, then searchable will find it and it will appear in LiveChat. So let's go and check this box and click Save. So what this means is that it can find all the data attached to it based on one piece of data you give it. Let me quickly show you how that looks. So LC Demo has started a chat with us, and we have their details like name and email. Now let's click on the Salesforce tab. And in current chat, LC Demo appears as a lead. You always want to refresh the page or click between icons just to make sure. So LiveChat basically searched Salesforce and Salesforce provides the data. Now you can click the View in Salesforce button here to open the lead. So let's go do that. Here we can clearly see that LC Demo is a lead and their email here is provided and saved in the customer profile. So then we have the required box. So if this box is ticked on, let's say, first name, email, and country, then your agents will have those fields as required fields when creating a lead or contact. Now, the last feature here is preview. So you can choose which fields you want to preview in the chat details section. Of course, please don't forget to enable the automation, which will create a new record when the chat either ends, is tagged, or starts. And as you can see, you have 3 options here to choose from. Now, depending on which option you choose from the data, availability will vary depending on the trigger selected. And of course, always remember to click Save. Right, let's move on to editing your object information in the chat view. So this is really useful for customer service reps. They can add or edit the customer's information directly in the chat view when they're either talking to a customer or had a follow-up and want to update the customer information from archives. So open a chat, whether from archives or an ongoing chat, and select the Salesforce integration. Here you want to click on New Object and simply put in the details here. Don't forget to click Send, and now the changes have been made in Salesforce. Now, you can edit the details directly in Salesforce by selecting the Salesforce integration once again and clicking on Current Chat. Here you have Edit, so you want to click that. Now you can make the changes here directly, and we also have a magic wand icon at the very top. And when you click on it, it will automatically update all the data. And then you simply want to click OK to verify all the fields. Now, when using the LiveChat Salesforce integration, I definitely recommend attaching the transcript directly to an object. First of all, that means you'll always find the chat transcript for your lead or customer. And second of all, you can update it anytime. So for that, you want to go to Apps, you want to go to Salesforce for LiveChat. And as I mentioned earlier, you can attach it using a field like company description, right? So here we have our company description and we have the chat transcript attached to our lead object. Or we can also create a completely new object for that. So let's go and do that. We want to go back to object selection. We want to click on New Object. And then we want to select an object from Salesforce. So we can choose task. Right, then we want to click on Add Fields. And here we want to find description. Click OK. We want to find the entry type to be dynamic, and as for the value, we want chat transcript. Then we want to click Save. And that's it. Now, every time you get a chat, the chat transcript will be visible in the task object. Let me show you how it looks. So we want to find a chat, and then in New Object, we want to make the object task. And then all you have to do is simply click Send. and each and every time it will be sent directly to Salesforce. Now, if you want to manage the access to your Salesforce account in LiveChat, then all you need to do is simply go to Apps and go to Salesforce for LiveChat. Now, if you're in the Mapping Objects section, you want to click back to Dashboard, and you want to find yourself on the dashboard view of the integration. Then simply click the lock to manage access. Right, let's go back to settings. You will also find the trash icon next to it. So if you are no longer using Salesforce, or if you would like to stop using the integration, you can simply click on the trash icon to remove the account. Congratulations! Now you know loads about the Salesforce integration. If you have any questions, feel free to contact our partner. Igor will answer all of your questions with pleasure. Their email and website will be in the description for you. Thank you and see you soon.